And so I make this giant headdress, and it literally must have been
4 pounds of feathers.
I didn't use anywhere close to all of them.
Oh.
They're in a huge
Basket. All ready to go die.
Some?
Yeah. And so I've got basically my costume already. And so before our presentation, we give out all of these Mayan warrior drinks, which is just cacao powder, water, cornmeal. It's not tasty.
Sheep's blood.
But it works.
Very important.
And we hand out all these beverages.
Nasty beverages.
Nasty beverages. And we go to...
What?
I go to the co-op here, and I order a pound of raw, well, I guess semi-processed cacao beans. So right off the tree, broken out of the pod. And we hand those out to everybody, but we say, you can't try it yet. So my friend gives his presentation. I get out there, and I've got my costume on, because I gotta fit the part. And they're a tropical people, you know. So, I am virtually naked. I'm virtually naked, and I've got this humongous green...
He's like the next Vikings football player. You're screwed.
This humongous green feather headdress on. And all I've got is like a little thong covering my manhood.
Oh my god.
Barneveld,
you're too much.
Well, you got
Yeah,
at
you
least
played a
try
part.
and suck people into the story. And so I get out there, and what the Mayans would sacrifice most often was puppy dogs.
Oh.
And I talked to some people in advance, tried to find out how legal it would be for me to actually sacrifice a live animal on university grounds.
Oh my god! What is wrong with you?
And they said, we have way too many hippies, animal rights activists, and just plain squeamish people on campus to actually do that. So I'm like, damn it. And so
I'm really interested to see where this happens.
I'm waiting for the laughter to die down a little bit.
You missed it.
All right, so
Killing puppy dogs.
so
As hard as you're laughing, I really want to know the story.
Killing puppy
you gotta stop working then. And so they say, can't do that. So I'm working my ass off, going to like every department store I can try and go to try and find a stuffed puppy dog. Everybody has stuffed bears and lions, all sorts of stuff that does not help me. Finally,
Do you want to try taxidermist?
next time. Well, so finally, about 2 days before I had to give this presentation, someone in the community, on the nice free cycle community, says, oh yeah, my daughter has this puppy dog and she's off in college and forgot all about it, so we'll give it to you. So a
Pound puppy.
pretty close to it. So they give me this nice little stuffed puppy dog.
Was it stuff with feathers?
Is it the one that breathes? Put battery in it?
Not that advanced. That might have been cool, but you work with what you got. And so I get this puppy dog, and the night before, I take my hunting knife and I slit its stomach open so I can pull out all the innards. And I fill it with red Jello.
Oh God!
The stuff that stains everything. And I must have like 3 packages of Jello stuffed in this little tiny dog. And I sew it up as best I can in advance. And so I bring it to school, and I've got my nice deer hunting knife with me. Because the
At school, which already sounds dangerous.
Yeah, I was trying to play it pretty low key before the presentation because I didn't need to get in trouble in advance. And so I've got my hunting knife with me, and it has that.
Everybody listen up.
It's got this nice bone handle, so it looks pretty authentic to the time. And so I walk into the room. I am chest all puffed out, headdress on, very closeness, and I have a puppy dog in one hand, and my hunting knife in the other.
Oh my God.
And I give this big spiel about how this is a sacrifice to the cacao gods and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And after I give all this whole spiel about this and that, and cacao is the lifeblood of our people, and may our warriors prosper, and blah blah blah. I plunge this sacrificial knife into this puppy dog where I had already stitched it open earlier, and I have to make the sound effects because it wasn't loud enough, so I had to go as I open this dog, and then the Jello still wasn't coming out enough, so I start shaking it over the table in the front of the room, be like, and may this blood help the trees grow to the heavens. And from the moment I walked in until I cut this dog open, everyone was just speechless. It was just like, oh my God. And then, if it wasn't quiet enough, when I cut this dog open, there was a mixture of ooh and oh my God, he did it!
Yes.
And finally, when all is said and done, I try and go sit down again. And of course, yep, they don't let anybody get dressed because there's not enough time between presentations. And the teacher gives me a critique of the presentation, and he goes, I have been teaching here for almost 15 years now, and never once has anybody brought in historical theater to my classroom. Everybody has been facts and figures this and boring old history that. You are the only person who has made me feel like, oh my God, I could be next. Thankfully, for my attention to historical detail, mine is my period-specific tattoo, which that's a whole something else. I got an A for effort.
A for effort.
A for effort.
Expelled.
A for historical accuracy. And although I did get a C for legality. because you're not supposed to have weapons in a university. But sometimes you gotta sacrifice a little bit for your art. So everyone has these cacao beans. And finally, at the end of the show, we tell everyone they can now try the cacao beans. Everyone takes a little, some people take a little nibble, some people eat the whole thing, and almost everyone right away is, oh God, that's terrible! Because it is one of the most bitter substances on this earth. But there was only like 20 people in the class, and I bought a whole goddamn pound of this. So it's like, so I have a ton left over, and it's like, what the hell do you do with this? And so I thought, what would be most enjoyable for me? And so what I did was I put it all in a nice plastic bag, and I would carry it everywhere I went in my backpack. And whenever I would see someone 10 and under, I would say, look at their parents, look at them, look at the parents again, and then I'd finally say, I know you may not have met me before, but
This is like insane, man. You are gonna go to jail again.
someday. And I'd look at them and I would ask, you're a fan of chocolate, aren't you? Well, I'm going to give you some of the purest chocolate on earth. And I would hand them a cacao bean. And some of the parents would go, no. And some of the parents would go try and keep their smile hidden for a while. And these kids would be all like, oh my God, I got chocolate. And then finally they'd eat it, and either I saw the worst faces, they'd probably oh, or they'd just be like, and until I ran out of cacao beans, that was some of the most fun I've ever had.
You were in a camp of your own. You were
That's
over
how
there on
greatness
little-
exists.
How?
Amen, brother.
Now those people, Beyonce, Jay-Z, they may have millions, but they don't have the Barneveld spirit. So that's how it's done.
It's better than